Just an aside, I'm Dan Harris. I'm a beekeeper, for those of you who don't know me. I see in different beekeeper message boards and blogs and around different places, people will routinely ask how people overwinter, store their honey supers. And there are all kinds of crazy ways of doing it. And I have, on occasion, explained how I do mine. And I've had people challenge me and insist that it doesn't work. I mean, I've been doing this for a lot of years. I've been doing it, well, not a lot of years, I guess that's a relative term, for at least the last 15. I've been moving honey supers off of these stands that were drawn comb over the last week. And so I've kind of whittled my way through. So here's a stack, and you see there's several more stacks there, and there's stacks over here. And I can keep a couple of hundred supers in this way. Takes up space. A lot of people use, paradichlorobenzene, and some people use all kinds of moth stuff. I don't use anything. And it works. If your comb has never had brood in it, it's not dark comb, but it's light comb, it's only contained wax, probably contains wax, it's only contained honey, you can store it this way. The wax moths aren't interested. They get their nutrition from that stuff that colors the comb, that makes it dark. That's where and so pristine white comb doesn't have any appeal to them. These supers and the ones that I've removed over the last couple weeks have been stored just this way over this last winter. The ones I took off already were later season. So, basically I started at the back of the barn and worked my way toward the front. And so those are the ones that were removed at the beginning of the season. Some of those were pulled off in June of last year. And these probably are from, by now, July. This is on top. This is just to hold this metal queen excluder on the top. Now on the bottom, there's a couple 4x4s running parallel here, and on the bottom is another one of these. So there's a metal queen excluder on the bottom of the stack, metal queen excluder on the top of the stack, and and then a box on top just to hold the top one down, and that's to keep mice from getting into them and nesting. Now this top box is not full of frames, it's just a partial. I could show you this, but I'll show you one that's full. All right, let's just look at this guy. They've been, like I said, this is where they've been since probably last July. There were plenty of wax moths around in July. It's just not a problem. There were plenty of them. And if this had brood in it, it'd be a problem. But you see, it hadn't been touched. How many would you like to see? Hasn't been touched. You don't see that classic ring of dark colored comb where they produce brood. Hadn't been touched. These are exactly the way they were put in this stack after I extracted honey off them. So basically what I wind up doing in the barn is the whole front of the barn's open. They need shelter, obviously, from the weather. So this barn has an open front. I get finished extracting. What I do is I basically bring them in here and stack them. And the bees in the neighborhood will run amok, just cleaning them up. And then they're done. And that's how I do it, and it works. So at least it works for me. I'm not going to say it'll work for everybody. I'll just say I've been doing this for 15 years, storing them this way, and I've never had a problem as long as it does not contain any brood. So, and in Georgia, June, July, August, September, we had plenty of wax moths, and so I don't know why anybody else would have trouble with it, and I don't care. I just want you to know there's a simple way to do it. If you have the space, if you have 10 supers, you can do it. If you have a couple hundred supers, you can do it. You get much more than that, and you probably need to think of some other way to do it. But for what I do, this is work I feel good about not necessarily putting comb contaminating compounds in my honey supers for storage. You know, whether it causes harm or not, doesn't matter. I just don't need to do it. So anyway, there it is. Enough said. Thanks for watching.